is actually Rabbi Shragi Katz's initiative. He's like, Shabbos starts at 4:30. Your meal ends at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Like, come out and learn for 45 minutes. Like, why not? So what he did is he went to all the Kinyan Chaburas, or many of them, and he actually wanted to go to every single one, but he ran out of time. And he just made the pitch to Kinyan, hoping there's 90 Kinyan guys will get a large chaver to be there. And then hopefully it will grow and it will become a matziv, like come out and learn for a few minutes. So I think he's saying between 8 and 10 it's like the ikr time. I plan on being there if anyone wants to come and learn. If you want to make up a time that whatever, we could see. And
Flyer or no?
yes. Yeah. No, I don't know what happened. I spoke to Rashagi on.
No, but at least people will see like.
No. That's what I said to him. I said, whatever. His original idea was.
They're just telling people if Bismedish is open.
No, but they want to just get guys going. Let's be honest. It's not so simple to get guys out of their house to go. So no. So he was supposed to. First, he was going to make a whole women's Kinyan event, which is still going to do a Mirta Shem. Make a whole matziv. It didn't end up working out. They wanted to get Joey Haber. They couldn't get him at the right time. It was a whole.
I love how anytime it's like a woman's event.
Yeah.
Joey Haber.
About it. It's awesome.
He's amazing. So why did I class his speech?
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
So he was supposed to. So I think he might. I think he's still going to try to get up a sign for Shabbos. But either way, I'll be there from 8. I'll try to be there from 8 to 10, or at least closer in between times from 8:30 and 1:30. If anyone wants to come,
I would try to be there.
If anyone wants to come,
home.
Yeah, same thing.
No guest this Shabbos.
Yeah. So maybe
9 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah. I was
26 or something. Right?
home by 5:30.
O'clock.
You're like stretching it just to get the kids in, and then like, okay, right there, it's 7:30. What are you doing? Going to sleep? Like, maybe. And then you pull then you pull a Ben Beller. He shows up last Shabbos. He says, Rabbi, he's supposed to stop by me. He says, I conked out on the couch at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. He's like, and what?
He's working on different hours.
He's like, and then what happened? I woke up at 1 and I was up till 5. Like, okay, you're like you're on a different time zone. Okay, let me get invited. The bottom of Memheim and Beis, Meisvei. After a Moiratika Chazara, Shkayach Rabavi, we're now holding at the very bottom. We just finished off. We're actually not finished. We're middle of the discussion. How many days do you make a bracha on the Lulav and Esrog? And particularly, let's hone in on Shitas Rabbi Yochanan, who said, Echad zeh ve'echad zeh shiva. Meisvei. Asks the Gemara, the last word on Amanaf. Amar Beis. Meisvei.
In the end, we said everybody holds Echad zeh, Shiva.
Omer Rav Yosef noikim to Rabba Bar Chana biyadcha the Kulu Amaroi Savar Kavosei. Now Rabba Bar Chana Savar Kavosei B'Sukkah. But what did Rabba Bar Chana say in the name of Yechanan? That was very silly what I just said. Let me clarify what I just said. I said Rav Yechanan. It's all Rav Yechanan. I apologize. It's Rabba Bar Chana in the name of Rav Yechanan, and it's Ravin in the name of Rav Yechanan. That is the debate. So asks the Gemara Meisvei. Ha'isa lulav la'atzmai. Someone makes a lulav for himself. Omer, what do you say? Baruch shechiyana v'kimana v'yana lazvan hazeh. Okay. Natla, you take it. Latzis bait v'yotz the mitzvah. Omer. Baruch Hashem shem zanu anti asulav. Continues the brisa. By the way, Avada Hashem Elokeinu Melech Haolam just doesn't say that. Shekid Hashem zanu mitzvah. So it's like like this year, I'll be like, oh, you know what the bracha is? Fascinating. V'afal bi, and even though, says the Gemara, Shebirech alav yoim rishon.
The Daf is saying Ashrik, there's going to be discussed, and Raj, we don't say.
That's for sure true.
If it's a minimum.
If it's a minimum, very good. Says the Gemara, the tak is interesting. I was wondering that. It's a nice diak. Because very often the Gemaras will say, you make the bracha and will just say, it won't throw in that part. It's interesting. Maybe that's why. Very nice. Says the Gemara, Shebirech alav yoim rishon, even though you make a bracha on the first day, you make a bracha all 7 days. Part A of Brisa. You make a sukkah for yourself. You enter nichnas, you enter leisheva to sit in your sukkah. Oimer, shekshem leisheva sukkah. Kiva shabirach yem rishon. Shavena Mevarich. So for Sukkah, when do you make a bracha?
Just
One day. Frek the Gemara, kasha lulav al lulav, kasha sukkah sukkah. What's the kasha? Here you see sukkah is for one day, lulav is for 7 days. Here we see lulav is 7 days, excuse me, and sukkah is lulav is 7 days. Sukkah is 1 day. What's the problem? The problem is that we had different shitais, but we're stuck in a problem here because Sukkah for sure should be 7 days, and there were opinions that said lulav is really 1 day. So what's going on over here? So says the Gemara. No, okay, good question. Good question. No, good question.
First
It
sheet
means,
showed it was 1 day.
so it means no. So good. Rashi just means to point out, don't think you're making it on Yontif. You make it on Erev Yontif, la'atzmai, for yourself, then you make the bracha, you have to insert when you take it on Yontif. In a chanam. It doesn't mean you're taking it Erev Yontif. Yeah, it is interesting.
That Sukkah is 1 long day. You would, the first sheet to hold that 1 day.
So that would be a riot to that shita, but a kash another shita. Good. Says so good. We have to read into the Bryce. So it is a little bit lavdafka. You're right. It has to mean that you take the lulav on Yom Tif, and nichnas leishava means you enter on Yom Tif. That's what it has to mean. You are correct. Even though it sounds a little bit oisa lulav, you make a lulav an erev Yom Tif, it sounds like you're making the bracha an erev Yom Tif, right? It is a little bit interesting. Okay, says the Gemara. So kasha lulav kasha sukkah. So explains the Gemara, lulav lo kasha. No, I don't know where I am. Bishlama, lulav lo kasha. Skip the word. There you go. I understand that we could say, and Rav Nachum, you mentioned this when we said this originally. I understand that we could say lulav lo kasha. Why? Why is it not a question? Bishlama, it is good that lulav, it's not a kasha. Why not kam bizman shebeis hamikdash kayom? When the Beis Hamikdash is around, that's when we could say, very good, it's a deraisa all 7 days, and therefore you're going to make a bracha for 7 days. If you look at the second line of Rashi at the top of the Amid, Rashi spells it out very clearly. Mevarchen alav be'mikdash kol shiva demid de'araisa hi.
You're gonna need.
Kan bizman she'ein Beis Hamikdash kayom. Says the Gemara, whereas the brisa that we just quoted that said the lulav is 1 day is going to be when it's not the Beis Hamikdash. Ella, however, sukkah kasha. Ask the Gemara. 1 second. We have a straight up stira in sukkah. Is a sukkah the bracha made 7 days, or is the sukkah bracha made 1 day? How you gonna answer that up? So answers the Gemara, Tanohi. Now Tanohi means it is a machlekes Tanoim, which means you can't ask a question. Because what's the question? Question is, you're saying it's only you make a bracha for 7 days, but I'm quoting you a brisa. It says you make a bracha 1 day. Says the Gemara, that's not a problem. It's a machlekes Tanoim. Do you make the bracha 1 day? Do you make a bracha 7 days? So one brisa holds 1 day, one brisa holds 7 days, and Tanaim are allowed to argue, and it's not a problem. Now the Gemara proves that it's a machlekes Tanaim. Di Tanya. Dalit, very important, shows us that it's proving what we just said. Di Tanya, like we learned in a brisa. Before we go further, just to mention, if you hold that sukkah is 1 bracha, what's the reason? Just remember, because it's all 1 long day. Whereas if you hold that sukkah, you make separate brachas, you hold it's either each a separate mitzvah, or in as much as it's 1 long day, but every time you go in, you make a bracha. But the nekuta I just want us to remember is that the fact that not the tefillin, that's the next part. The sukkah is 1 long day. That detail is clear. So now says the Gemara, look at the raya. Did Tanya, we learned in the brayso, tefillin. when it comes to tefillin, kol zman shemenichin, whenever you put it on, mivarech aleihem, you make a bracha on it. Divrei Rabbi. Sounds pretty simple. But what does that mean, by the way, parenthetically? You put it in tefillin for shach, so make a bracha. Let's say you put it in tefillin again for mincha, make another bracha. No big deal. And by the way, you're allowed to. A friend of mine, Daniel Stern, he one time went to Chaim Sheinberg. Sheinberg wore tefillin all day. He said, Rebbe, why don't we wear tefillin all day? He said, well, halacha says because, we don't have a clean body, so you don't wear tefillin all day. He said, okay, so, but why don't we wear it for mincha? Right? We assume that by mincha. He says, be normal. Be normal, if Scheinberg said it. Classic of Scheinberg Terrence. But if you were to put on tefillin again, you make a bracha again, Divrei Rabbi. V'chachamim ha'imrim, no. Einoi mivarech ela shachris bilvad. You make a bracha one time. So now, what is this machlokes between Rebbe and the Chachamim? The Gemara is suggesting that tefillin the whole day is one mitzvah. But what does Rebbe say? Every time you put it on, you make a bracha. So that's going to be a raya to the shita that sukkah all 7 days is one long mitzvah. But every time you go in, you'll make a new bracha. The Chachamim hold no. You make one bracha. Like the shita that says, you make one bracha. If you want, you can look at Rashi quickly. Not so quickly. You can look at Rashi. Kol zman shemenichin. Rashi spells out what we just spoke out. 3 lines to the top of the Amid. Va'afilu choltzanu menichin me'apam bayayim. Take your tefillin on and off 100 times. You make 100 brachas. V'gabe sukkah nami. Rashi now carries it over. Afal gav duloi mafski lilus biyamim. Even though there's no mafstiki, there's no hefstik, there's no interruption, says Rashi, the nights or the days. First narrow line in Rashi. Ukichad yoyim arichu. And Avada, it's one long day. But yet, bevarchen alel b'chol yoyim. To dumya, the chaylit maniach. So that's the raya. The shita that holds, you can make multiple brachas in your tefillin is just the shita that holds. You make a bracha every day on your sukkah. So the machlokes, Rebbe and the Chachamim, is going to be the machlokes.
We don't hold like that. We don't hold
Which
that
one?
you do multiple brachas for tefillin if you take it off.
Well, it depends why you take it off, which we're about to see in the next Gemara.
Bathroom, come back,
Good, we're about to see that in the next Gemara. Says the Gemara right now. Actually, I'm upset at art school about that. Because they missed the boat. They missed the boat. No, the big question is to go to the bathroom. Do you make a new bracha? So the Kitzer says no. Now that's not the halacha. Well, I shouldn't say it's not halacha. That was a nice. Can't say it's not halacha. Should be canceled. But that's not how we pass it. Because Mr. Brura says that it depends why you went to the bathroom. If you just had to go urinate and talk to Mr. Brura, then you don't make a new bracha. If you went for Gedalim, if you actually had to use the bathroom, then you do make a new bracha. We pass it.
Also, you're just going to urinate. Theoretically, you could wear your tefillin in the bathroom.
So Chaim Sheinberg
Would go in.
So if Yamov, he mamish had a little urinal sitting on the side over there because you allowed to do it. Now I'm not advising any of that. You know what I'm saying?
I
Yeah.
think he would cover it. I think he would cover it.
Yeah, he wouldn't actually go into the bathroom. He had a separate matzah. Either way, Itmar Zakti Gemara. Itmar, and I know it's late, but again, because we had a full night of Chazar last night and it's Thursday night, we're going to push a little weiter and in anticipation for a strong Shabbos Chazara, whether it's together Friday night, whether it's everyone on their own. Siyat Dishmai. Itmar Abayi Amar Hilchasa Kirebi Rava Amar Hilchasa Kirabanan. Abayi and Rava is the machlokes Rebbe and the Chachamim. Givaldik. Amar Rav Mari says Rav Mari Bira Dibas Shmuel Chazina Leila Rava. I saw Rava Deloy Ovid Kishmait say he didn't do like he said. Deloy Ovid, he did not do Kishmait say like his own teaching. So again, what did Rava say? Rava said Halacha Kirabanan. What did the Rabbanan say? You make one bracha on tefillin. So the greatest way to ask a kasha on someone is if you saw that guy didn't do it. If the Rabbanan hold, you make one bracha, And Rabbi says you pass like the Rabbanon, and then you see Rabbi in shul one day making a bracha, and then an hour later you see him making nacha bracha. You say, Rabbi, Rava, excuse me, what's going on? You pass like the Rabbanon. Says the Gemara, Chazina leila Rava delavi kishmaitze. He didn't do like his teaching. How? Ella, rather, what did Rava do? Makdim, he got up early. Vikoi, Makdim, he went early. Vikoi, and he got up. Va'ayol, and he went in. Lebezak, he said to the bathroom. V'nafik, and he exited. Umashi yade, and he washed his hands. Umanach tefillin, and he put on tefillin. Umavarich, and he made a bracha. So far, so good. Everyone holds this. When he had to use the bathroom again, what did he do? He went to the bathroom, and he went out, and he washed his hands, and he put on his tefillin, and he made a bracha. So Rava, I thought you paskin like the Rabbanon. According to the Rabbanon, what's the psak? One bracha on tefillin. So Rava, what are you doing? And the Gemara now adds on ve'ananami, and we also kiRebbi Avdinan. We make a bracha like Rebbe, umevarchin, and we make a bracha on the sukkah now. And again, these translate back and forth the sukkah and the tefillin. Kol shiva, all 7 days. The Gemara now concludes with a bunch of more short stories proving this point. Amar Mar Zutra, Chazina Leila Rav Papi. Good question. Good question. I don't know if the Gemara means that's what we're pasking that way, or that taka is what it is. I don't know. Good question. Good question. I don't know. The Gemara doesn't tell us if this is the reason or. Yeah. Amar Mar Zutra, Chazina Leila Rav Papi. I saw Rav Papi. Whenever you put on tefillin, mevarech, you make a bracha. Period. Now, we just throw in another random din about, not random, but another practice about tefillin. Rabbanan devei Ravashi. The Rabbanan in the yeshiva of Ravashi, you know what they did? Kol emas. Anytime dimishamshimi behu, that they touched the tefillin, mavarchi, they would make a bracha on the tefillin. Period. And this is where it ends. Fascinating is that it would seem that this opinion that holds you make a bracha whenever you touch your tefillin is the same opinion that holds you make a bracha more than once, which is what we do. And yet we, of course, don't make a bracha every time we touch our tefillin, even though if you were to go do a little bit of a deep dive, you would find many shittas that would say you should make a bracha. Yeah, but what we do is we don't make a bracha, but it is an inyan to touch it when you do mention it. But we're gonna stop right over here before the Gemara circles back around. This week we did from Memhamid Beis, right? Rav Avi, that's we started last night. Amar Chizkiah until Amar Rav Yehuda. It's almost a blot there. But let's try to do Chazar. And again, anyone that's around, it should be beautiful. Hopefully, it'll be a nice Kol Teira. I plan on being there. I'm going to say I plan on being 8 to 10, but I'm going to say 8:30 to 9:30, the middle hour, just to keep it safe for everyone. Actually, they're trying to round up the Kinyan Chaburas to start a Friday night Seder in KBT.
In KBT.
They're doing it in KBT just because that's central.
It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah. It could be eventually they'll split. They'll do one there and one by Barfeld. But we all know what's more Gishmak. It's more Gishmak if there's 50 people than 20 and 20. So it's
Are they having food?
It's a matzah. So I think they're bedafka not having food. I think they're bedafka not having food.